Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's market debrief. What we have here on the screen is the S&P 500 index, and over here, what we can see is that the market has gone through three phases of correction. The first one is being like 35.15% down. Okay, it kind of like entered into a bear market and then rebounded back up. Continuing its previous bull market. Okay, so the previous was somewhere here in last year, August, September, where it has a 10% correction. Okay, so what we have recently is that the S&P 500 index has retraced 4.5%, and then thereafter it has rebounded straight back up to making new all-time highs. Okay, so the US market overall is in a very strong uptrend. We can see here with the 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day moving average, right? It's already more in a parallel fashion since here, roughly last year December. It started into a parallel fashion. Meaning to say is this uptrend, right, is likely to be quite sustainable. It will be moving on for quite some time. Okay, so what happens was like previous 2 weeks ago, it has reacted strongly at this 50-day moving average, right over here. Okay, that from there it has rebounded back up. Okay, so the US market is the strongest in the world, in the global markets at the moment. Okay, so this is Nasdaq 100 index, and is showing a similar pattern, with all its moving average in a parallel fashion pointing upwards. Now, if we look at the Hang Seng Index, Hang Seng Index right now, it did the same thing. Retraces back down like 6.5%, and then had like a V-shaped recovery, retesting its resistance over here. Okay, so at this moment, right, there is a high chance that Hang Seng is going to break out and continue following its counterpart in the US. Okay, so the Hang Seng Index is taking a breather. It's closed for the Chinese New Year over the weekend, and it's going to reopen on Tuesday. Okay, so with the US market closing up high, likely chance that it might also carry on its rally coming when it reopens on Tuesday. China market, similarly, this is the Shanghai Composite Index. 3 days before Chinese New Year, before it closed for Chinese New Year, yeah, it has a 3-day rally, a very strong rally, making new high, and I believe that they are also going to carry on with this, with its uptrend, when the market reopens coming Thursday. Now for us, Singapore market, right, Singapore has been quite on the laggard. Okay, you can see that, like for example here, Singapore started to move up like in the first week of January. Okay, if we compare it to Hang Seng, Hang Seng already started to break up or above this consolidation, right, since the last week of December. So we are kind of like 1 week lagging behind. Okay, so with the Hang Seng Index already started to rally. Very likely in the next 1 to 2 weeks, right, it might uh, follow its counterpart in Hong Kong. Okay, so what we have here is that this is a very strong, it's a support region. Okay, around here, 2850 to roughly about 29,000. Okay, so this is roughly the support region. Let me draw this. Okay, so what we have here is roughly a very strong support region. Alright, so most likely it might retest this region again, this support region, and then rebounded back up. Okay, so at this moment we would like to see how it is. So overall, what we have is that the global markets now are all carry on its upward trend or upward movement in terms of COVID recovery. In fact, most of the market has already back into their pre-COVID territory. Okay, so if we look at Hang Seng, pre-COVID days is roughly like what, March 19, sorry, January 2000 or to March 2000. So the Hong Kong market has already recovered to pre-COVID days. US, not to say, is already like breaking new all-time high. China, Shanghai index similarly has already broke off to make new highs, after its COVID. Okay, so this is the start was COVID. There's a Chinese New Year, and then when it reopens for Chinese New Year, it gap all the way back down, and then thereafter it has recovered to make new highs. So for us, Singapore, we are kind of like lagging. Okay, our pre-COVID days is somewhere within this region of about 32,000. Okay, so we are still some way from fully recovering. Mainly is because we do not have a very large domestic market to support our economy. We are mainly more on our tourism, our import and export. So in this area we are quite badly hit, in terms of the global economics. So what should we be looking at, for our stocks? Now into the Singapore market, we have one very strong sector. Is kind of like up and coming, which is the medical sector. Okay, so this is Thomson Medical, penny stock. Okay, run backed by the so-called miser king, Peter Lim. Alright, so the past 3 days before Chinese New Year, close for Chinese New Year, it has a very 3 days strong rally. So most likely is due to results. Okay, because it's after the earnings results, and then it started to rally. Raffles Medical, we can start to see that it previously has a strong rally. Okay, and then now is starting to move back up. So we have a bounce here of the 50-day moving average. Okay, so this 50 moving average is a very is a key support region. Okay, around 92 to 95 cents. Okay, Healthway Medical recently had a run also, from 3.2 to 3.9 cents. 3 days run following this Thomson Medical. Singapore Medical, it already started earlier, it's on a uptrend or in a rallying trend. Okay, so yeah, this is mainly the whole sector is on the move. Okay, and this is Q&M Dental. Okay, so it also has like 2 weeks of rally. Okay, into a climax, into this euphoric move just before Chinese New Year. So most likely with this, right, for Q&M Dental is likely to retrace. So we want to see how it retrace. If it retrace in the shallow faction, right, we can look for new entry to go long. Okay, so this is Q&M Dental. So this is mainly, I would say, is more on the clinics. Okay, probably because of the vaccination rollout. Okay, people are getting vaccinated. The doctors are being paid I think is they're being paid a certain fees. Okay, and the rest of the vaccination is being borne by the government. Okay, so most likely from this, right, is boosting their so-called bottom line in their revenues. Okay, so that's why I think this sector is running. Okay, it's most likely is going to could be a sustainable rally, for this whole sector. Okay, due to this vaccination effort, by the Singapore government. So lesser known or new IPO stock that is also in the same sector, which has not seen much movement. Okay, the same sector, a new IPO stock, but has not seen much movement because of this, is the Singapore Pink Care. Well, even though it says Pink Care, which is run by a main Pink Care specialist, but they do have quite a few clinics, that deals in general medicines, screenings, and of course giving vaccinations to the public, to the masses. Okay, so there is a likelihood that they will also be benefiting in their bottom line. Okay, so you can take a look at that. most of the REITs have already ran. So what I'm covering here are those that are likely to move off, or they are still languishing or lagging behind. Okay, because most of the big known REITs are your Ascenders REITs, Capital Integrated Commercial Trust, and all this big name REITs has already rallied quite substantially and had corrected also quite substantially, recently. So most likely is they are going to rest for a while. So our focus is should be looking at those that are likely to move off next. Okay, so this is Fortune REIT listed in Hong Kong, and we are seeing here a strong support here by the 200-day moving average, and it started to bounce back up. Okay, so from here it might start to rally upwards. Okay, this is link rate. Okay, link rate after breaking off the 200-day moving average has been consolidating or retracing back down quite substantially, and it's like testing this so-called support region. Okay, so this is roughly the support region that this link rate is showing, due to this price action over here. Okay, so most like, and we are seeing some rebound, with a pickup of volume from this region, support region. So from here is, I will say, most likely it might start to rally back off. Okay, if the whole Hong Kong market started to move off also. Okay, Keppel REIT, one of the strongest REIT, since the COVID days, starting from here, from the bottom, like March last year. Okay, it has already retraced, consolidated for some time, and then recently it had a small rally. Okay, over here. So so recently there's this pullback, forming a hammer pattern over here. So likely we would like to see if it can further consolidate, or show some signs of strong support in this region, and then look for entry to enter or accumulate or so-called invest in the stock. Okay, so but the thing is, it's currently giving about 3% yield. Okay, this is Manulife REIT. Currently it is trading roughly at its support region. Okay, somewhere around here. Okay, so it's really testing this support region, and you can see that the volume, there's a spike up in volume, and but the thing is, price still stayed around that region, around 71 to 72 cents. Okay, so I believe there should be a strong support, in this support region, and once this break off, it most likely might start to move off, or start its rally. Okay, this is AEM Holdings. Recently had a nice run. Okay, so after this climax, it has a deep pullback. Okay, so on, not really deep, this is, I would say, in terms of their price range, right, this is a shallow pullback. Okay, so most likely here it is more like a fake rebound. Okay, it might do a 1 or 2 days up, before coming back down again. Okay, so for this I would like to wait a little while more. Okay, due to a very strong run like this, probably a test of the 50-day moving average. Okay, this is SATS. Okay, SATS is trading here at its previous, like, support turn, resistance turn support area. Okay, so SATS currently, after it break off this resistance area, okay, it has reconsolidate back down, and after touching or testing this support region, it straight away flew back up. Okay, so I would say this is generally is a very strong support. Okay, so we can look at looking to buy into this, for it to do its uptrend, the turn of its trend. Okay, so this is what you can look at to invest. So overall, I would rather invest in SATS instead of SIA. If we look at SIA, okay, so SIA is still consolidating at the moment. But overall, why I will choose SATS over SIA is because SATS overall still handles all the aircrafts, not just SIA Airlines, but also from other countries. Okay, but whereas SIA is just like SIA and Silk Air. Okay, so SATS, I would say in terms of recovery, will recover faster than SIA. Okay, so I would rather choose that, you know, than as compared to SIA. Okay, we have Thai beverage. Okay, so Thai beverage, after breaking off, right, it has a strong um, pullback. Okay, so I would say do take note of this, you know, as once it started to test this like support region. Okay, if you are looking to trade this, there is a possible rebound in this support region about 75 to 77 cents. Okay, so because this is a fast sell down, it might also rebound quite fast too. Okay, so do watch out for this. All right, so JD Health, within this region, right, it has consolidated for some time within this region over here. Okay, it's been consolidating and rebounding off this support region. All right, so I would say there is a likelihood that over the next week or no, or even the next 2 weeks, right, it might start to rally back up for this stock. Okay, so do take note. So the reason why I mentioned about this is its counterpart Ali Health also seems like moving off. And we have this PA Good Doctor, which has a strong rally before Chinese New Year. Okay, so do watch out for this stock, you know, which does so-called tele doctor or telemedicines for mainly in the China market. All right, so do watch out for this. Okay, so Yang Zhejiang, after this strong rally, it has came all the way back down to retest its so-called support, which I'm like, oh, what the hell is it doing? All right, so you can see that this region, right, has been tested many times. Okay, so mainly this region, you see here. So there are a lot of trading around in this region. So after being languishing here in this region, test this 50-day moving average or 200-day moving average, and it has rebounded back up, no, with volume. Okay, so this is very strong. Okay, I would say. So overall, this will be a very big consolidation picture. Okay, so once it starts to so-called its volatility drop, right, you can look into trading that. Okay, talking about this drop in volatility, last week video I've mentioned about Baba. Okay, where during this phase, right, it has lots of volatility, meaning you say it move up, it gap down, gap down, gap up, gap down, gap up, gap down. Okay, so there's a lot of volatility, a lot of uncertainty. So once it started to the price action, right, starts to so-called the volatility drops, right, like in this fashion, right, things starts to get clearer. Okay, it seems like for Baba, right, it is likely to move off on the uptrend. Okay, it's being supported, you know, by this 20-day moving average at the moment. Okay, so likely all this 50-day might also start to turn up, you know, for Alibaba. Okay, so as I think probably because of Jack Ma, you know, things are more certain for the company, and that's why it's being supported at this moment. Okay, so that's all I have for today. See you guys next week.